In any information product, the first thing you really have to do is identify the vehicle you're working on and then go ask that product for certain information about that vehicle. Last year, we kind of turned that around a little bit. The example that I've chosen here is I actually had a friend who's a technician who had an issue with a 2011 Toyota Tacoma, and it stuck in my head because it was a little bit odd. The complaint from the customer was that it had a noise coming out of, or it seemed to be coming out of the air conditioner. The noise varied when you would increase the fan speed. So he was pretty convinced it was a blower motor, so what he really wanted to do was look up how to replace the blower motor in this Tacoma. Following my example here, the first thing we did is identify the vehicle, and then when we click use this vehicle, instead of now necessarily typing in blower motor, what you're presented with is this list of information that comes not from ProDemand per se, but from the industry at large. This is a list of the most commonly replaced components within the Mitchell purview of a whole bunch of shop management systems and technician input. These are the top things that are replaced on this Tacoma. And then the next column over tells you the common, most diagnostic trouble codes that are ever reported for this car. The next column over is common symptoms. And then the final column is actually just what is looked up in ProDemand most frequently. There's a very good chance, since these are the common things, that the reason your car is in the bay may be represented here, and you can just do a quick glance. And in fact, in this case, we looked at the common symptoms, and the second one down says noise heard. Well, that's a pretty ambiguous term, but we thought that might be interesting. Let's just click on it real quickly. And if you look at this, now it brings us back the information about noise heard. The top area is the OE information that could be related to it. The bottom, where it says SureTrack results, are the actual things that are reported from the industry. And the second listed thing down says noise heard replaced cabin air filter. Well, we thought that's interesting because that's right by the blower motor, and it could certainly be associated with our problem. And when we clicked on that, what you see is the complaint, which was similar to our customer's complaint. They heard a noise. What they did was they actually thought it was the blower motor, pulled that out, but discovered that there was a lot of debris on the cabin air filter that was actually rubbing on the fan of the blower motor and causing this noise. The top graph that you're looking at is the common replaced parts for this symptom, and the cabin air filter, you see, actually tends to be replaced on this vehicle mostly around 50,000 miles. Well, this particular Toyota had about 83,000 miles on it, so we said, well, let me just pop that filter out very quickly, and he in fact did, and found that that's exactly what the problem was. So he didn't pull the blower motor, he just used this experience. You know, we've talked about it in the past. It's almost like when I owned my shop, you had a network of people that you would bounce hard to identify problems off of. Well, this is just like having that at your fingertips without having to make the phone call. You know, they're selling time, and time is money, and this saved him from having to pull a blower motor out and then put the blower motor back in just to replace the cabin air filter.